Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my Coffee and a Card Facebook Live. My name is Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady from Prescott, Arizona in the United States. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for nearly 25 years now, and I love what I do. Today is Tuesday, November 9th, 2021, and I am happy to be here with you today. If you are popping on and seeing my video this morning, please say hi so I know that you're there. It looks like I'm going fine, so I hope I get a few people on here to watch. Let me see what I want to share with you today. It is kind of a gloomy day here in Prescott, Arizona. They actually said a slight chance of sprinkles, but I haven't seen any yet. But it does look cloudy out there. I am just going to go ahead and start my video. I don't see anyone on yet, and I'm hoping that everything is good. But you never know. You just never know with my Wi-Fi and my computer and my luck. So we're going to make believe everything is fine. As always, I will be drawing from all of the comments on this video today and giving away the project that I make. I will give you all today and until midnight tomorrow, November 10th, to enter with your comments, and I will draw for a winner the next morning. So I love to hear from you. I love to hear your thoughts on the project, your comments, any questions you might have, and I'll be sure to get back to you. So if you're hopping on, please say hi so I know people are watching this morning. It's always good to see your names up there and know that we're communicating. I want to congratulate Lori Wycott. She won my last card that I made. It was the Inchies card with the Eden's Garden set of products. And that is already out in the mail to you. So I so appreciate you guys all watching. Remember, your comments are what's going to get you an entry to win today's card. Okay, in front of me I have my information, Maureen Rolfes, the Crazy Stamping Lady, my website where you can shop, stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net. You can also see all of the Stampin' Up! Catalogs and products and any special products like the Eden's Garden suite that's there right now. There's my blog with my classes, and it also has my Tim Tebow information and a few other things, like if you're interested in joining as a demonstrator, that information is there. And then my email, where you can email me anytime. I love to hear from you, and yeah, I'll watch for those. I try to answer them the same day I get them. So I see eyeballs on watching, but no one has said hi yet, which is very, very unusual. So I'm not sure if I'm having a problem with my comments or if just no one has commented. But if you are there, please let me know so I know I'm really up and running. Oh, good. Now I'm seeing some names. Hi, Linnea. Hi, Melinda. Good. I'm glad someone's there. So this is my hostess code for November. If you're ordering in November online at my website, please use this hostess code. Unless your order is over $150, then just go ahead and order without the hostess code, and you will get some benefits for that. If you need my information or my hostess code information, you can always scroll back to the beginning of any of my videos and see that. So I'm going to get those out of the way. Hi, Lindsay. Glad you're here. This is our current mini catalog. It is going to go through January 3rd, so it's really through December, but they take it through January 3rd, and then the new catalog starts January 4th. There is a ton of really fun stuff in here, and I have been showing a lot of it, but I'm just going to let you know if there's anything you want, be sure to order it before this catalog goes away. But today we're going to use products out of our annual catalog, which is kind of unusual for me. I've been all about, oh, hi, Becky, glad to see you here. Oh, thanks, Lindsay. First time. I love that. I'm glad you're here live with me today. So I'm going to use the main catalog because today I'm going to focus on my first Monday challenge. Every month I put out a challenge. I try to do it the first Monday. This month I got behind, so it went out the second Monday. But it is on my Facebook page under the Crazy Stamping Lady here. Hi, Joan. Glad you're here. And you can check that out. Just scroll down and find First Monday Challenge. You'll see a picture of that. And then in the questions, is this TicTacToe? In the comments, I'm sorry, is this TicTacToe grid? And you can make a card and enter to win a prize from me, and I will send that to you in the mail. The way you win is I will take all of the people who enter their cards, and I'll draw a name after it closes on the 28th, and then on the 29th, I'll announce that winner and get that out in the mail. So, this is my current TicTacToe challenge. You can choose any 3 to put on your card. So you could do 3 in a diagonal, fruit, ombre, or sprinkles, or 3 a diagonal the other way, drink, ombre, or a punch. You could do vertical, fruit, sparkle, drink, or flower, ombre, pattern, paper, or punch, shaker, and sprinkles. Or you could do horizontal, fruit, flower, punch, sparkle, ombre, shaker, or print, pattern, paper, and sprinkles. So you get to choose. You just have to use 3 things that are in a line to make your card. Hi, Linda. I'm glad you're here this morning with me. So for today's challenge, I chose, because I wanted to show you my take on this challenge, I chose the drink, the patterned paper, and the sprinkles. And use your imagination. Like I had a couple people ask me about sprinkles. That could be you sprinkling an image across your page. It could be you sprinkling gemstones. You could have glitter on there as your sprinkle. Anything you consider a sprinkle. Just use your imagination for any of these. I'm pretty open to whatever you want to do with them. And then post a picture of your card in the comments of that first Monday challenge for a chance to win. So, again, today I'm using drink, pattern paper, and sprinkles. So let me show you the products I'm going to use for that. So for drink, I decided to use the Brew Some Fun stamp set. It has a teacup, it has a coffee cup, has some adorable sayings, and so that worked perfect for the drink part of the TicTacToe. And then for the patterned paper, I'm going to be using some fun patterned paper out of the Pattern Party assortment. Now this is a Hostess assortment. If your order reaches $150, or if you have a workshop that reaches at least $150, you can choose from our Hostess Gifts in the back of the catalog at a greatly reduced price, and this is one of them. It is a huge pack of paper. All kinds of fun, bright designs on one side, and then on the back, I hope you can see it's all kinds of black and white designs. So we're going to use that for my patterned paper today. And then for sprinkles, I decided to use some actual sprinkle stamps. So out of our Sweet Ice Cream stamp set, we have a couple different sprinkles that you could use. And on my card today, I'm going to be using these because they really look like cake sprinkles to me, or ice cream sprinkles. So that's how I am filling out my TicTacToe: drink, pattern paper, and sprinkles. When you do your TicTacToe, you pick what you want to use. Every single card is going to be different based on what you choose for the challenge. So let me get these out of the way and we'll get started going here. Couple other things I wanted to quickly mention. As a demonstrator this month, it's our month to order the new January through June catalogs to be sent out to our customers. So if you have ordered from me in the last 6 months, so that's June through now, I will send you a catalog automatically in the mail. If you are not my customer but would like to be and don't have a demonstrator, then place an order on that information I showed at the beginning of this video. Hi, Lori, glad you're here. By the 27th of this month, and on the 28th, I will be finalizing that whole list of who's going to get catalogs from me. So if you have any questions on that, drop me an email. I'll be glad to chat with you about that. What else do I want to tell you? Oh, if you can share my video today, that would be awesome. Sharing my video really helps my small business by getting my name and my videos out to people who might not otherwise see them. And I think that's about it. So we're going to go ahead with our first Monday TicTacToe challenge. And again, I'll kind of keep this up here. I think you can see it, but so that you know the things that I am using on my card. So for today's card, I just decided to do a fun fold. I don't think I've ever done this on here before. This fun fold is called a double point card. So I decorated my envelope, and if you win this card, yours will come decorated also. And then this is a double point card in that it says whatever you want on the front, and then you open it up, and it has these 2 points that kind of hold your focal point in place. And you'll notice with the double point card, it's usually just the 2 points and whatever you want here. But on mine, when you open it, let me see if I can get it open again. It actually has a little pocket back here where you can put in a gift card. And since I love coffee, mine is a Starbucks gift card. So I'm going to show you how I made that little pocket for that too. So if you did not want to put it for a gift card holder and you were making this, then just leave this extra layer of cardstock off and you'll be fine. So, all right, so let's get busy on this card. So I hope you can see on here that I have the drink, I have the pattern paper, and I have my sprinkles. So we are going to duplicate this today. So for this card, I pre-cut out using our Stitch So Sweetly dies, 2 of the largest scalloped rectangles, one of them in white and one of them in Poppy Parade. Yes, that's what I used, Poppy Parade. And then I cut out 1 scallop of the next smaller size in white. I also have 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper. Now these pieces are 3 inches by 4 inches. And then I scored them each at 1 inch. And because these are going on my card, one is going on the bottom and one is going on the top. I had my little, whoops, just the opposite. One's going on the top and one's going on the bottom. I scored them so my little scallops would be pointing opposite directions. So on the bottom, the scallops are going down. On the top, the scallops are going up. You could score yours however you like, but just pay attention for the pattern because you're going to want to score them a little differently on your paper. So to do that, when I laid my paper on my score, you can see here's my 1 inch score line, here's my 1 inch score line. I laid them on so the scallops were going the opposite direction. If you wanted them both going the same, you would just turn that and do your 1 inch on the other side. So I hope that makes sense to you. I love this DSP, Lori. I love it. I think I'm on definitely my second packet. I completely used the first one up except for a couple scraps. So also, because this is 4 inch wide and I'm going to be folding these, I made a tiny little score mark. I don't know if you can see it. A tiny little score mark at the 2 inch mark. And that just seems to help me fold my paper a little more accurately. So what you're going to do on these is you're going to fold on the 1 inch and then you're going to fold each of the 2 sides into the center right where that center mark is, okay? So let me show you that with me doing it in a bone folder. It's a little hard to see on screen, I'm sure, because it's a little hard to see in person. But this is my 1 inch score line right there. And then I'm going to take from that center score, where I scored it, over to the edge where my 1 inch is, just like that. And bring this down here. And I am going to crease that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Go from that center down to that 1 inch. And I want these to pretty much come together in the middle, actually as much as possible. So you can manipulate your paper just a little bit if you need to do that, because when you open them, you can see that black and white. And on my card, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to show you how I covered it. But on every card I've seen others to do, they did not cover it. They just left it. So if the other side of your Designer Series paper is really different, like in this case it is, you want to make sure you're covering it up as much as possible. If it's close in color, don't worry about it. It probably won't even be noticeable. So now we have our 2 peaks for our card. And I'm starting out with a base. This is not a folded card. It is just a base piece. And this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I used Old Olive. And my color choices just come out of my papers. So if you're wondering how I decide, that's how I decided that. And then there's going to be a white layer. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And this is going to be my layer right on the card like that. And I am going to stamp this right now before we put this together. So on the white layer, and where is my mat? Did I lose my mat? I might have, nope, here it is, hiding behind my papers. So I'm going to use my mat here, and we are going to stamp Treat Yourself. So this Treat Yourself comes out of the same set with the sprinkles. I just like that it said that on the inside because of the Starbucks card in there. So I'm going to take my Poppy Parade ink and ink this up. Tap, tap, tap. And then I'm using the mat because I'm using a fuller polymer stamp. And I'm just going to come in here. And I always hold my stamp on there just a few seconds to let that ink really transfer to the paper. So that's Treat Yourself. And then I'm going to grab my Memento Black and my little coffee cup. And we're going to add this to the inside of our card. Right below that Treat Yourself and kind of at an angle. And the reason I'm using Memento Black is I am going to color this with our blends. And so Memento Black is the best for doing that. It does need a few seconds to dry, so while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm just going to add this to my olive layer. So let me grab my seal here. And we are going to add some seal in all my corners, all the way around. And then I'm going to add this to this layer. Oh, I'm not going to do that yet, huh? I totally messed that up, but I can fix it. So sometimes I get ahead of myself. Often I get ahead of myself. What we want to do before we do that is we want to add these peaks to this part of the card. And the reason we want to do that is when you put this onto the card, you're going to have this on the back, and you don't want that showing. So we're going to do it before we add it to our green so it's covered up. But I can fix that. So I'm just going to take this piece, and I want my little fold, the part that comes together like this, to stick down. So I'm going to add some seal to the inside of here, and then fold these back down so they stay in place. And let's do that right away with the other one. Hi, Joy. I know, isn't it crazy? In my mind it works, but yeah, when I start to put it together, it's like, oh, wait, that's not right. So as long as I can fix it, I'm okay. So we're going to come in with these and put those down so they also meet. Okay, so now we have our little peaks and our little folds, and we are going to add these to the back of that white piece of paper. So let me just come in with some seal on there. So the seal now is on the black and white side on that 1-inch part. And let me make sure my scallops are going the way I want them to go, and they are. So the best way I find to do this is just come and lay it on the front of my card centered, and then fold it over like that. So now the glue is only on the back here. I'm going to just burnish it in a little bit, and it doesn't show on the front, the glue. Now on here there is that little tad of black and white. Hopefully they will not scrutinize that and go, what the heck, what is that? But it does show just a little bit. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other one. I'm going to just put some seal down that and flip this over and do it the exact same way. Just lay this side to side with my little crease right at the top. Fold the back over, and then again burnish that so it really is glued down. So that is my little peaks right now. Okay, then I'm going to take this. That was a practice run the first time. Then I'm going to take this and add this to my card. So I'm putting some more seal on here to cover the areas where I messed up and covered it already. And we're going to just center this top to bottom, side to side, as closely as we can on camera. Okay, so it's coming together. Now I'm going to color this because now that has had plenty of time to dry. Our Stampin' Blends are alcohol markers. They do bleed through, but they're not going to bleed through the green. It might bleed through a little bit on the white, but that'll be covered by the green and back, so it's no problem adding this after. And the color I'm using for this is our Pool Party. And I'm going to use the little nib. I'm only coloring. I'm not worried about shading in any way. I just want this to be colored a pretty color for the inside of the card. And it looks like my Pool Parties are getting a little dry. They've been well loved and well used. So I'm going to go over this twice, I think, just to get some depth of color on there. Can you hear it squeaking? That's when I know they're getting a little dry, like I've used them and loved them very much. So, all right, so there is our little cup for the inside. So now when they open it, they're going to see that, and it's going to say treat yourself, and I just kind of like that. So the next thing we want to do is come in with our piece of poppy, and this is going to get put here on the front of this card. We're only going to attach it on the top, not the bottom, because I want this to be able to open up. So the best way I found to do that is just come in here and center it. And on this one, it's really nice because I have a pattern to follow. So I am going to put this on here so that none of my glue goes above the bottom of these orange scallops. Now, if you didn't have those scallops, all you'd have to do is take a pencil and make a little pencil mark where you want your glue below it. It'd be pretty easy to do. But since my scallops work for me, I'm just going to come in and add some Tombow glue. And none of it's going to go above that orange scallop. So I'm just going to come down in here, kind of where the yellow scallops start, and put Tombow on this entire peak and across the bottom of the yellow, and then fill that in a little bit. So you don't need a ton. It should never be so thick that it's going to ooze out and make a mess. And then you're just going to take this again and hold it down, and I am going to come in, I think I'll come from the top, and put this side to side right below my orange, covering the glue that was on the yellow and the peak, and just making sure that it seems straight. And again, using the scallop, it makes it really easy, because if those are straight, then I know pretty much my whole thing is straight. If you don't have a scallop, just be sure that you line it up and you know where you're going. And that leaves none of the glue on the back, which is perfect, exactly what we want, okay? Then next, what do I want to do? I'm going to stamp, I think. So on my smaller white scallop, we're going to add some fun design. So I'm going to grab my mat one more time, and we are going to add some sprinkles. Let me grab my ink pads. So I am going to start out with the Poppy Parade sprinkles, and we are just going to take them down the center of this card. So they are not only a sprinkle design, which they are, but by doing it this way, it kind of just reminds me of sprinkling something across the card. So if you wanted to use that as your sprinkle and do hats or something else just down, you're sprinkling it on your card and it would work. And then I'm going to add, you know what, I'm going to do the other colors before I add more poppy. So I'm going to clean this off with my chamois, because we're changing colors. I don't do that very often on screen. I usually stick with one color. But we're going to change this. I'm going to set this aside, and I am going to add some crushed curry. And so for the crushed curry, I'm going to tap, tap, tap. And we're just going to add some next to the poppy. And I'm kind of twisting and turning it. It is a pretty random design already, so you probably wouldn't even need to do that. But I'm going to do it just so it doesn't look like it was so perfectly laid down on there. And then I'm going to take my pool party, and we're going to clean this again. And we're going to lay the pool party down on this side. And these are just sprinkles, so they don't have to really be perfect in any way. And I'm going to come up here and do the same thing, lay some down up here on this side. All right. And then we're going to finish off with that poppy one more time. Just because poppy's kind of my focal point on here. It's kind of the color I'm using as my brightest color. So I clean that stamp one more time. And we're going to come in with the poppy and just add a little to this side, like that, and a little up in this corner. All right, there is our sprinkled cardstock. The next, I want to find my other stamp. Here it is. It says, "It's Your Birthday," and this "It's Your Birthday" is actually from the Brew Some Fun that we're using. So I love that. I love when they have just kind of a general sentiment. They have a thank you, they have a birthday. It's nice to have several sentiments in your stamp sets. So we are going to come across it. I'm going to ink this up pretty well. I want to make sure it's dark enough. And then I'm going to come on here at the top right over my sprinkles and just lay this down. And because I want that ink to transfer, I'm going to hold it for a few seconds. One of the things I think people do is they try to rush their stamping too much. That's when I get ahead of myself. Just take a deep breath and step back and have a Zen moment. And there, it's your birthday. Now, it will pop a little more as this dries. I noticed on here the same thing. When I originally stamped it, it didn't show up as much. And then after it sat a minute, it seemed to pop a little bit more. So that part is good. And we are going to take this, It's Your Birthday, and add it to the front of this card using the seal. So I'm just going to put a strip here and another strip here. And we're going to center this. So the colors I used for my sprinkles actually match the colors that were in the scallops. And that just pulls the whole card together, I think. Makes it look pretty cool. So it's your birthday. And then before we came on, I stamped 3 more of those little cups. And I colored them. And I colored on my head just so you wouldn't have to watch me. You already saw me color one. But I used Pool Party, Old Olive, and the light poppy for these cups. And we are going to add them to the front of our card with dimensionals. So just 1 on each one, I think, is all we need. Come in here and post this one. And I just kind of did them at random angles just to give it a little bit of character. I love this card for a birthday. Anyone want to ever send it to me and send me a Starbucks card? You are welcome to do that, and I will take it gladly. I am a little addicted to coffee in general, and Starbucks in particular. All right, and then here's the final one. I'm just going to put that one up here like that. Okay, so we have our 3 scattered cups on there, just like that. And now I'm going to show you how I did that little pocket to add our Starbucks gift card to the back. So if you just count on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what I did is I just took my paper cutter, which now is avoiding me. Paper cutter, paper cutter. Ha! Well, it's a well-loved paper cutter, but it's hiding. Let me see. I have my guillotine one over here behind me. I'm going to grab that. So I have my guillotine paper cutter rather than my little one. And I am just going to come in here and count down 5 scallops. Hopefully you can see this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to line that up side to side and cut off those 5 scallops. So I have a shorter little piece here. And then when you open this, I want it to be so you can pull the little card out this direction. So we're going to add this to the back of here on this end. And then that's going to give me my room to pop in my card, if that makes sense. Oh, I did want to show you one other thing. So on these, I folded these together pretty well. So I'm not going to worry about covering them. You could if you wanted, but I'm not going to worry about it. But on my original one, when I was first doing it, I didn't do that little score line at the top. And so when I folded them together, there was a gap of the black and white showing in the middle. So what I ended up doing is just cutting a square that was a little smaller and then cutting it diagonal to get 2 triangles. And then these can actually be glued on to the card and cover that up if you want. Now you can't go much closer on the black. You might be able to do a little bit of that covered up, and maybe I will do that because you want it to still be able to fold in. But you know what? I do like that finished look. So it'll be up to you whether or not you do it, but I'm going to take a minute real quickly and add those. I like that it covers the seam. I've never seen that done, but I think it gives it a nice finished look. So before we add our pocket, I'm just going to put some Tombow on the back of this little triangle. And we are going to lay that on my peak here. And again, it's slightly smaller, so it doesn't go over the edge. And I'm going to move it up pretty close to that white to cover some of that black there too. And I do like that. That really gives it a nice look. So we're going to do that. especially since I'm giving you guys this card. I want it to be nice and finished. So we're going to add a little Tombow to this other triangle, same way. And pick that up, and I'm going to flip this around so I can work better on this end. And we're just going to add this on here. And again, I can put it in my triangle and I can move it up pretty close so less of that black and white shows on each end too. Huh. I'm glad I did that. I like that. It is better. All right, so that is how I did that. And then we're going to take this piece. So on your scallops, they have a dotted line that is deeper, that is the front, and then a more speckled line on the back that's rough, that's the back. So on the back side, I am just going to take some Tombow, and I'm going to go right along my edge. You do not need a lot again, but you do want to go all the way around the 3 scalloped edges because you want this to stick down in those 3 areas. So I'm putting some all along there and all along this edge here. And again, I'm going kind of just on that scallopy edge beyond where those little dots are. And this will hold. I've been using that other one quite a bit and it hasn't come up at all. And then we are going to take this, and I'm flipping it around just for ease of working with it, and we're going to lay that on there and match up those scallops exactly. So since I'm using Tombow, I have a little wiggle room, and I want to make sure they match up exactly so that when you look at the front of your card, you don't see the white sticking out around, okay? So I'm going to come in here with this, and then I'm going to grab my card. So this is another little Starbucks card, and I'm going to put it in there right now, just because that does lift your white a little bit. So I'm going to put it in while I'm holding this and pressing this down and letting that Tombow take tight on my card, okay? And then if you want, you can take your bone folder and just give it a little extra pressure to make sure it has adhered all the way around. So now my pocket is ready for me to put my card in and out of for gift giving. So I'm just going to leave it in there, and we're going to come back in here. And because I added that triangle almost right up to the white again, and I said I wanted it to be able to fold, you're going to want to come back in with your bone folder to just kind of burnish that down again. But they do fold in just perfect. So there's our card. It's your birthday. Open it up. You have your little gift card up here. Treat yourself, a place that you can write. And since this is about this wide, you just want to don't write past those edges, obviously. But it gives you a nice segment here to do a nice little sentiment and sign it. And then it will come with the envelope all decorated and ready to go. And again, this is called a double point card. So that's the fold, a double point. And I'm doing it for the TicTacToe with the drink, pattern, and sprinkles. So if you want to enter, thanks guys, oh, I love your comments, they make me so happy. If you want to enter for a chance to win this card from me, make sure you leave your comments right here on this video like you're doing, and then I'll take comments today and through midnight tomorrow, and then the next morning I will draw for a winner and get this out to you. And if you want to enter my TicTacToe challenge, just search on this page for the first Monday challenge for this month. It'll have the dates for November, and then in the comments it'll have this TicTacToe grid, and again, you can choose any direction, 3 in a row, make your card out of it, post it in the comments for a chance to win a prize. So any of these can be entered until midnight on the 28th, and on Monday the 29th I will draw for a winner of a product from my TicTacToe challenge. So I hope that makes sense. A lot going on. I really appreciate you guys joining me today. Don't forget to leave me comments and love. It makes my day for sure. You have till tomorrow night to enter to win this card. I plan to be back here on Friday, November 11th at 9:30, again for more stamping inspiration. And until then, just keep smiling and keep creating. Bye, everybody.